What's too deep? We'll go in deep. Chad and JT.
Stokers, what's up, guys? How you guys doing on this fine day, whenever this reaches you? What up? My name's Chad, and we are with my colleague, JT. What up, dude?
What up, Stokers? Boom, clap, Stokers.
Boom, boom, pow, pow.
That's a new thing I'm trying out.
What's that from?
The Charlie XCX song, Boom, Clap.
Okay.
Boom, clap, down to my heart, the beat goes on.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I heard it on the way here, and I was like, what if at the intro of the podcast I said, boom, clap, Stokers?
I guess it can't hurt to try it out.
All right, I'm out of here.
Yeah. From the what? Who sings that song?
Charlie XCX. She also wrote this song like, I wanna. Like, what's the, that's not how it goes, damn it. The song where it's like, I hit my taunt into the Donna just the other day.
Just up and a down now. I don't know the words,
No,
but I know that.
I'm fucking it up. Wait,
Maybe I'm thinking of the yeahs.
You keep stoking the Stokers, and I'll find this song real quick.
Well, Stokers, I'm feeling good today. The sun is out. I bronzed a little bit. I took a cold shower. I currently have a green juice, which is going to maximize flow in my body of vitamins, stoke, and overall just fucking. I can't even name it because it feels good. So, and JT's chugging a green juice right now. Dude, did you get what kind did you get?
I got the exact same one as you this time.
I like how it's kind of sour.
Because I've been taking the Joe Rogan Alpha Brain,
Yeah.
and I'm worried about my liver toxicity.
Mm.
I read that lemon is good for cleansing
Yeah.
your liver, so
Yeah.
I'm chugging lemon now.
Dude, I gotta hop on that Alpha Brain train.
Well, I might be getting off.
Yeah?
Yeah, so you might be able to hop on. I know a lot of people who do it without issue twice a day. Love it.
Twice a day.
Yeah, I do it like every other couple days, and after I did it like 3 days and 4, I was like freaking out. But I'm also bipolar, so I'm a little bit more sensitive to anything that messes with the brain.
Like anxiety through the roof?
Yeah, and then like just thinking like, I'm like, am I happy? Like, and I'm like, what's the craziest thing I would do? And then like when I'm like normally like just like at my most like relaxed, the craziest thing I'll do isn't that crazy. But then when I'm like anxious and feeling off, like the craziest thing I'll do is like as crazy gets, and I just don't like having those thoughts feel possible in my head.
Do you act on the crazy thoughts?
No, almost never.
So it just like gives you anxiety to think about what you would do?
Yeah. Or to think that I could be headed, just it makes me think I could be headed on a negative trajectory.
Yeah.
And just having that like in your head as you go through your day is like kind of just defeating. It makes you not want to like do anything.
Yeah, especially when you wake up like that, you're like, oh fuck, and then that really just kind of, you gotta work your way through it.
And the thing I really find is that it makes me like less pumped on my relationships.
Yeah.
Like all my relationships when I'm feeling like that become like, ugh.
Yeah.
But when I'm like just like when I'm relaxed, I like I'm like, yeah, dude, these are the best. Like all these people are the best. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Roller coaster of life. The roller coast. Dude, one thing I've been doing lately is I've been abbreviating my words, and it's made me just a little more stoked. I like to abbreviate. It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of foo.
Yeah. I appreciate the comp. I hit that on someone the other day. Or no, I was like, dude, I appreciate the comp.
Well, and I think if you say that, like, you don't have to be like, hey, I really liked your compliment, which sounds so goofy.
Yeah.
If you're just like, hey, I appreciate the comp, it's like the same message, but like the tone of it is so much more fun.
Yeah, especially with like girls too, because you always want to like convey this like confident, I don't care, but like, I, whatever, that kind of confidence. I think if you abbreviate, I think that you can get that across super well. All right, bae, here's the sitch. We're gonna go get froyo, and then we're gonna snug.
We're gonna G the fro.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna crew back to my how and snug in my B.
If you're just like, she's like, what are you doing? And you're like, I'm trying to breathe. Just work with me here.
You said something interesting about trying to look cool in front of chicks.
Mm-hmm.
And I really do think that like you can learn a lot about a person from like what they look like when they're about to hook up or hooking up with someone.
Yeah.
Because this guy that, we both know.
Yeah.
I saw him last night, and normally he's like a really cool customer. Like he almost gives you nothing in conversation. He's got this like flat like face that kind of becomes a Rorschach test where like you kind of like project onto him whatever you're like worried about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I've always felt like he had like the upper hand in our conversations and stuff. Yeah, in our relation. Yeah. But then last night I saw him with a girl, and he was like doing like full act outs while talking to her, like big like gesticulations and stuff. Like he was like, and I'm like, whoa, and his like hands are flying in the air. I never seen him use this much energy. And then when I went to leave, I said later to him, and he normally just goes bye. But then last night he went, later, bro. And he hit me with some pistols. Like he went bang, 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 bang. I was like, whoa, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
So I leave, and then I left my bag. So I come back, and when I walk into the room, him and this girl have their mouths so open. They're not even kissing. They're just like absorbing each other with their mouths. Like, it looked like two aliens in human bodies making out. They're like, oh, just squeezing each other's face. And I was like, oh my God. And I felt embarrassed. So I darted into the other room. Yeah. But I was like, oh no, my bag's the other way. Yeah. So I was like, I have to walk by him. I'm so embarrassed. And when I walked back out, they didn't even notice me. They were so deep in the absorption. They were just, and then I just left. And in that moment, I really saw not the cool guy I've known, but like I saw him as a child. As a dweeb. The dweeb that he is. Yeah, because I always say this guy's super cool, and Chad always says he's a dweeb. And like, dude, like, you know, I'm a dweeb too, so when I make out, I'm sure I don't look cool. But yeah, he looked like a 13-year-old at like a school dance, just like grabbing onto a girl with like all the desire in his heart, like just like, yes, please. Dude, when he texted me about that this morning, I was drinking my coffee and I got the text. It's just like a nod of approval. He's a dweeb. You just nodded your Always head. Has been. Yeah, it's so funny seeing how the way dudes act when they like hook up with chicks, because like it's so funny when they like start like flexing, or they'll just like come up to you and like give you a huge like head nod and like sort of like gesture like check out my trophy right here, and you're like, nice, dude, and they're just like sitting there like, all right, we're gonna go. You know, I don't think they can help it. Like I couldn't help it. Like you just like you get this like surge of confidence. You just start swinging your arms more, and then you get like way more generous with people you see. Like you're like, oh, dude, it's very good to see you again, man. Have a good rest of your day. Hey, good luck with that thing you're working on. Yeah. Like you just start acting like the mayor. Yeah. You're like, oh, good to see you. How you doing, Johnny? Yeah, exactly. See you later, dude. Johnny. That's Johnny. That's my boy. Hey, we gonna lift tomorrow? All right. I'm like, we've never lifted together. Yeah. I can't deny it because busy, but I'll be free tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. Gives you too much of his schedule. And it's so funny. Like I remember there's this one guy, this dude in my high school. Like when we first got to high school, he was like taller. He's like one of those like taller dudes who like grew early, you know. So like all the girls loved him and stuff. And he was just like, but he was homeschooled. He got all this like new attention that he wasn't used to, and he was just like flexing hard on everyone. He's just like, and then like within like a few weeks, it all came crashing down because like the girls got to know him, and they're like, this dude is awkward as fuck. I don't think he's ever left his house. And like when he'd make out with them, apparently he would just like open his mouth and like swirl his tongue around. Yeah, he wouldn't like do anything else. That's like a black belt move that he's trying as a white belt. And dude, it's tough learning how to kiss. I was really bad at it at first. Yeah. And then like I think I'm good at it now, but it took a couple years, and a couple years where I knew I was bad while I was doing it. Like I was like, oh man, I'm all over the place. You apologize. Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, suck at making out. They're like, okay. Dude, the double pistols. That's a move. Dude, in other breaking news, my brother, my older brother just texted me. He just listened to last week's episode and said, tell JT I think you are a sensitive little bitch. Ha 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 ha. Thank you, big bro. That's good, big brothering. Yeah. I think that's because I challenged him. I said, he's sensitive. He's like, nope. But I like that he didn't give you an inch on it. He was just like, no, I'm not sensitive. No. Yeah. I guess that whole sitch is resolved. Yeah. He's going to be a breathing all pod.
all day.
Pod is already an abbrev.
Pod. Yeah. I always felt weird about that abbrev. Pod, because like the way people say, you can listen to the pod.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like that downgrades it a little bit.
Dude, my doctor the other day was saying I was getting overweight, but he was just weighing me.
Yeah.
He didn't like look at my body, and I was like, and he's like, look, you know, you could be pre-diabetic. Da, 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 da. I'm like, dude, I'm not in bad shape.
Yeah.
And then he was like, well, listen, you have to cut out the carbs and the I was like, dude, do you want me to take my shirt off?
Yeah.
And he was like, please don't. And I was like, well, change the subject then, dog.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna have you call me fat, bro.
Yeah. Did you get physical?
No, it's my psychiatrist.
Oh, okay.
My brain doctor. He's a dick, dude. We
Yeah.
got into I told you I got mad at him.
Yeah. He sounded like, when you explained it, he sounded like a dick.
He's always aloof, but today he was, or a couple days ago, he was being like, just plain not a doctor. Like I'd ask him questions and he'd be like, I don't know, what do you think? I was like, are you my girlfriend and I'm in a fight with you? Like, did I forget like about your birthday or something? Like, why are you being such a horse's ass?
Yeah. That must be so annoying with like a therapist, because you start to like get combative and they're like, all right, now this is because of your whatever. And you're like, dude, just shut the fuck up for a second and admit you were wrong.
Like if you beat up your psychiatrist, everyone's like, yeah, that's why he needs a psychiatrist. But I'm
Yeah.
like, no, this guy's a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if he wasn't my psychiatrist, we would have been throwing blows earlier.
Yeah, totally. That's what I went to therapy briefly, and then I was like, all right, I'm done. And then they're like, oh no, but you know, like they try to like hook you in with like, oh, but you know, you still have to resolve this. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, probably, but I'm out.
I'm sure you were very polite.
Yeah, I was very polite. I know. That's why I'm working on not being polite.
I know.
Totes.
Dude, I mean, I wanted to start with this, but we were just ripping and roaring. What a terrible tragedy about Avicii.
I know.
So young.
So unexpected.
Yeah.
Do they still know the cause? Or do they know the cause yet?
I don't want to speculate, but I think based off what I read from his family today, it was suicide.
Really?
Maybe accidental drug overdose.
Yeah. I saw you, Avicii, in 2011, I believe, and it was
it phenomenal?
one of the best shows I've been to, and I'll miss you.
Were you,
Melting face?
I was going to say melting face.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember there was all this, like, fog, you know, and it was, like, starting to kick in, and then Avicii, like, emerges, like, hands up. He's like, what up? You know, and just, like, and I was on a balcony. Yeah, dude. I mean, when I first heard Levels, like, I almost started crying. Avicii, thank you for providing me with that experience, and thank you for your contributions to my life. He's affected my life in profound ways.
All right, transitioning into something super goofy. I thought we could kind of talk about something that's been a tradition in male bonding since probably the beginning of time, but something that I personally, I don't want to be too strong in my stance, but I've always been against it. What's your take on Doty taps?
Bag tag?
Yeah.
It's kind of an ongoing tradition with me and my bros. Whenever we all see each other, like my oldest brother will always initiate a game of bag tag. So I always see it as a sign of affection. Although when it's with like a bro that's not blood related or that's you're not that familiar with, it can be kind of a weird thing. Although I typically find them to be hilarious.
Dude, I can't even imagine someone Doty tapping you early in a relationship.
Yeah.
You got to have like 3 years between yourselves before you start doing the Doty taps on each other.
But
I'm old fashioned.
Thinking about it that way, yeah, for sure. And I totally admire that. I admire those ways.
You got to go ask my dad if you can Doty tap me. And my dad has to give you permission.
Yeah. I remember when I asked your dad, and he
he said if you can find him.
Yeah, he's always ripping on your dote. But, you know, it was I was pretty nervous. I was like, Mr. Parr, I think I'm ready to take the next step with JT and give him a bag tag.
Are you going to be back tagging other guys?
Yes, but not many others. Probably just Trevor and Chase.
Trevor's a good kid.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you plan on back tagging him for?
JT?
Yeah.
As long as I can. I'm fully committed to this game of back tag, and like I promise you, sir, I will do whatever I can to keep making contact with his testicles via the back of my hand. And I just come to you because, like, you're an honorable man. I think I would just be honored to be connected to the par je ne sais quoi in that way. Did I use that word correctly?
You did.
Sweet.
Is JT a virgin?
Well, to be honest, dude, we all kind of suspect it. But, I mean, he said he boinked a girl the other night.
He used the word boink?
Yeah, he used the word boinked. And,
that sounds like he didn't boink anyone then.
Yeah, it was later revealed that they just went to Baskin Robbins.
Does he like the girl?
He said he wants to boink her.
But do you think he really likes her?
I think so.
I just want him to be happy.
Yeah.
But Chad, I think you're a good kid, and you 100% have my blessing to back tag my son.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And I'll make sure that the next girl he boinks is like a girl he likes.
Get out of here.
I will.
You're a good kid. Come on. Get out of here.
Sir?
Chad?
Before I go, can I tap your sack?
All right. Give it a smack.
How hard do you want it?
Well, you go too hard and you're going to fucking find your head through that door.
Okay, Chad, just lightly tap his sack. Just lightly tap.
Chad.
Yeah.
Don't overthink it.
Okay.
Give me your hand. All right, get the hell out of here. Dude, I felt your dad's dick when I back tagged him. Beast.
Your dad's got a huge hog.
And just for the record, I'm against Doty taps. I think we can do away with them.
You're against them.
Or what I think is we should nominate certain people who we know are the right guy for the job to be the Doty tapper for the whole group.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of these games can be fun, but you have to modulate. Like some guys are Doty tapping too hard.
That's a good point, because there's some guys who don't have that sort of like depth perception or whatever to
control.
To that control. They put too much into, like the guys who like one of my biggest pet peeves is like dudes who will like tell you a story and then they'll like act it out by like pushing you around and stuff, and you're like, well, hey, you can just tell me the story. You don't need to like involve me in it physically.
They grab you super fucking hard. Then he fucking grabbed me, and then he socked me in the. You see their fists go in the air, and you're like, I got it. I got it.
Yeah, those guys cannot bag tag. So those guys stay away from my bag. But the guys who are more gentle.
To me, it's like the death penalty. Like if you kill an innocent man, that means you can't have it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's that serious of a system where it needs to work perfectly for it to be justified.
I think we handled that.
Pitbull and Tony Robbins are going on a tour.
Dude, I saw it. I retweeted it.
We gotta go.
We gotta go.
Dude, I've been doing yoga lately.
I love it.
It's good, right?
It's so good.
It's hard as fuck, dude. I can't hold those poses for as long as like the other women in the class can do it.
Yeah.
Like I on every single one, like I'm like I need a break.
Yeah.
But dude, the afterwards,
you feel so good.
So centered.
Yeah.
When you say namaste at the end of the class,
yeah,
I feel genuine gratitude.
Yeah.
Like my hands come down, I just smile ear to ear and I go, namaste.
Dude, I could totally see you doing that with like so much passion. Like the teacher's like, namaste, and you're like, namaste fucking day.
Yes.
You know?
I love it. You got to do the yogs.
Dude, like there's this one guy who like, you know, Jeff, constantly ragging on yoga. He's like, oh, you do yoga, dude? You do yoga? Why don't you go do yoga with those white chicks? I'm like, yeah, we'll do it with those white chicks because they're hot.
They're beautiful.
First off. Second, this is why you drink and get angry, Jeff. Maybe if you got in Warrior 2 and then had a brewski, you'd be stoked when you drank.
Yeah. Instead of like bullhorn.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into our babes of the week. Who's your babe of the week?
So my babe of the week is the tarot card reader from earlier this week. If you guys weren't paying attention to the Instagram story, either on Bro Bible or I put it on the Chad Goes Deep Instagram yesterday, JT, our boy A-Bomb, and I were preparing for a date that unfortunately got canceled, but the preparation was dank. And to prepare for it, we went to a tarot card reader. Her name is Paris. And to be honest, dude, like I was getting ready for the date, but when I met Paris, I was like, whoa, hold on a second here. I know you're reading tarot cards for like my future date, but I think that the universe brought us here because they want us to be connected. Because like I felt like a deep connection with her, you know, and she was just like such a babe. I just want to give her props for her dank spirituality, and like just like she just seemed to have like such a like profound third eye. And she was kind of harsh in her tarot reading, and I think, you know, especially when she talked about my potential date with Sahara, because I think maybe a part of her wanted me to just realize that Sahara maybe wasn't the one, and maybe the one was staring right back at me. Unfortunately, she's married, and I gotta respect that sacred bond. But Paris, I just want you to know, I'll always be here. I don't want to infringe upon your dude, you know, because I respect that sacred institution. But, you know, Chad's always available. And I think you're a total babe. And just thank you for opening up my chakras in like a really dank, profound way.
My baby of the week is Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey is a TV star. And
She really?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, my baby of the week is Oprah. She's just a unstoppable force. Like when you hear her talking, there's like zero self-consciousness, and she seems like she's not gonna change who she is to fit whoever she's talking to, and I like that. Like she's always Oprah.
Mm-hmm.
Her name has resonance to it. Like when you say Oprah, people picture a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's built an empire, and it's completely contained in that name. And I think it's just it doesn't happen a lot in history, and it's something to kind of admire.
Yeah.
And I've watched some of her interviews. She's good, like the one with Lance Armstrong. She just she's so empathetic that when she asks hard questions, it doesn't seem like she's being a jerk. It just seems like she's like getting to what's important.
Mm-hmm.
And she dated Roger Ebert, who's my favorite film critic of all time, faced death like a freaking champ, and was not the hottest dude, so she loved him for his mind. I'm guessing. Maybe it was for his body. I don't know.
That's important. Yeah, Oprah, I grew up watching you, and you're just a dank interviewer.
Who's your legend of the week?
Okay, so my legend of the week is the DJ Mark Knight. Mark Knight is, I think his music's pretty much like deep house, which I think is like some of my favorite kinds of music, because like I love music that's like basically when you hear the beat, you know, it's like kind of the same beat, but there's like variations of it. But like when you hear it, you're like in your head, you're like, I could listen to this same beat and pump my fists for like 12 hours and it'd be like the best time of my life. That's the kind of music I like. You know, like when you go to Coachella and you go into the Yuma tent or something, and it's just like doom, 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 doom. And you just like moving, you know, and then like a fog machine goes off and like everyone's like, whoa, and then it goes back to the beat and doom, doom. And he just, like, Mark Knight, some of my favorite songs of yours are like Your Love and Devil's Walking, you know, they're just like fire beats. And like I want to highlight one moment, Mark Knight, that you created for me, which is, you know, I was with my boy Nick in college, senior year. We were about to embark into the real world, you know, get started on my life as an activist. And we just wanted one more, you know, we had like 1 week left to really just live it up before we left campus. And so Nick and I were in my car in my driveway. There was like a party going on in my place, but we just got in my car in the driveway. It was parked. We were bumping Mark Knight for like 4 hours. And we were just sitting there like shades on, just like bobbing our heads. Just like I could stay in this car for like days and just be like fully stoke level to the max the entire time, you know? And so that's, Mark Knight really created that for me. Even like, you know, chicks would try to come in the car and like other dudes, they'd be like, hey, what are you guys doing? And we're like, dude, just fuck off. Okay, let's stay in this moment, you know? And I think that's the mark of a really talented DJ. So Mark Knight, thank you just for providing those fire beats and just really giving me the opportunity to, lose myself in those moments. So thanks, dude. Who's your legend?
I think my legend will complement yours well. My legend is Chad Kroeger from the band Nickelback, not my dearest friend Chad Kroeger, who I have the honor of talking to today.
Nice.
Yeah, Chad Kroeger from the band Nickelback. I think Nickelback is seriously underrated. Now, I will say they have some bad songs that are properly rated, but they also have some tremendous songs that people don't give enough love to, like Saving Me, Far Away, If Everyone Cared, How You Remind Me. Like, these are true classics that have like strong emotional meaning for me. His song Hero from the Spider-Man movie that he did with the guy from Saliva, that was really good. And I just want to thank Chad Kroeger for just being strong through the hate and just like producing good content that really inspires me. Like, If Everyone Cared inspires me. It's a good video too, because they have like all these heroes throughout history in it, and they tell their stories, and that's just gold. When you see that, that just picks you up, and that just gives you a little more fight. And then when I was doing research on him, I saw this. It was a Jezebel article about people who had hooked up with celebrities, and it said, I know a girl who used to hook up with Chad Kroeger from Nickelback all the time. Said he is hung like a horse, which kind of pisses me off. Now, I don't know why that should piss you off. You should be happy for somebody else for having a big hog, and I think that's cool that Chad Kroeger from Nickelback has such a big dong, and I also think it's cool that he never really mentions it in any of his music. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, he really takes his gift with modesty and prudence, and I think that's pretty cool. Like, so, kudos to you, man. Oh, and then married to Avril Lavigne.
Major.
I bet you she was in her head before she met that guy. She was like, I'm never gonna marry the guy from Nickelback. Like, she just saw him and was like, never. Like, that's not for me. Like, no, he's cheesy. And then she met him, and she was like, wait, this guy's the man. Mm-hmm. And then she probably listened to the music again and was like, wait, this music's deep. And then she felt his love and was like, wow, all 3 boxes checked.
He dropped the hammer.
So kudos to you, Chad Kroeger. You're my legend of the week.
Nice. That's a good legend. I didn't know he had a hammer too. I'm stoked for him.
Yeah, and he's really just nonchalant about it.
Yeah, nice. All right, beef of the week?
Who's your beef of the week?
My beef of the week is with my inner demons. As most people know, I'm kind of a child of the sun. I project a pretty optimistic self, and I am very optimistic. But, we all have inner demons that we got to deal with. Nobody's perfect. Because life is all about just improvement, I think. It's just like a journey of progression, So, yeah, my beef is with my inner demons, dudes, just so you know, I know you're inside there, and I know you're, trying to, hold me back from realizing my true potential. But you know what? I am not backing down. I will keep listening to Tony Robbins. I will keep watching David Goggins videos, and I will keep battling you dudes head on, I think some of my inner demons, maybe some approach anxiety, when I see a super hot chick, I get in my head, I'm like, oh dude, you can't do it, you'll mess it up. That's one of my inner demons, and then I'm just going to get to that Goggins mentality of just no, fight through the pain. You take cold showers. And then I go say, what up? So my beef is with my inner demons. Dudes, I know you're there. I know you're flexing, and I know you're trying to get the better of me, but you know what? I will overcome you dudes, and I will be victorious. Suck it, inner demons.
Joseph Campbell said you got to name your enemies.
Yeah. I think once you're aware of them, that's when you can really become a beast.
Right, because you know who you're fighting.
Yeah. What's your beef?
I think I got a good beef of the week to complement that. My beef of the week is Ellen DeGeneres.
Nice.
Because, I don't think she's honest about her inner demons. I think she projects a lot of phony fun and happiness to her audience and to her viewers at home. Mm-hmm. When I look at her, I see a control freak.
Yeah.
I see someone who won't let you see them vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I remember when she got her cat or dog taken away from the shelter because she didn't follow protocol, and she cried on TV which made the shelter's life, I'm sure, miserable. Even though they were just saying, look, we can't make a special exception for you because you're Ellen. We have a process here and it's important.
Yeah.
And she decided that she was above that and that she would use her platform and the way that her audience perceives goodness in her to weaponize that against a dog shelter. Yeah, I've just read a lot of stories, too, that she's, like, horrible to work with. Like, she won't make eye contact with people and stuff. And it's like, I'm not even that mad at that. Like, I would never want to be that way, and I would never want to work for someone like that. But I understand it. But for her to then, every time she talks out loud, be like, I'm very nice. I'm the sweetest. You're saying that, but you're not living that life. And if there's that big of a disconnect between what you're saying and how you're living, I'm sorry. We got beef.
Yeah.
And I love to dance.
Yeah.
And I've fake danced before where I've been trying to look like I'm having fun so I can spot it in other people.
Yeah.
And when I see Ellen dancing at the top of her show, I mean, I know she's been doing it for years and you get tired and it's a job, but I don't think she ever wanted to dance.
Yeah.
I think she just knew that dancing, people like it. But do you like it? I don't think she even knows. She's so wrapped up in the grind of winning, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's where Oprah's got her beat. I think Oprah's genuine.
Nice. I think this is sort of like, that's cool how you brought out Oprah and Ellen.
Yeah, I was trying to go for like a theme of like authenticity in daytime talk shows.
Yeah.
All right. Should we do some ads?
Our first sponsor is SoCal's leading DUI lawyer, Kevin Fard, and he wrote some copy for me, and I'm going to say it right now. What's up, Stokers? This episode of Going Deep with Chad and JT is brought to you by Kevin Fard, attorney at law. Did you, a friend, or loved one just have the worst night of your life getting busted for a DUI? Getting popped by an undercover squeeze thinking you were just paying for love? Getting thrown in the slammer for squaring up with a boogie boarder who dropped in front of your barrel? Don't worry, dudes. Kev's got your back. Give Kevin Fard, attorney at law, a call at 213-290-6464 and ask how he can defend you. That's 213-290-6464 or kevinfardlaw.com. That's KEVINFARD law.com. Serving Southern California. This is a legal advertisement and does not constitute legal advice or an attorney-client relationship. Epic. So that's the copy you wrote. And I just want to go off book here. This is me talking, not Kev. Kev is just like a solid dude. I've never hired him for his services, thankfully. But I've known people who have, and they've just been thrilled with his experience. And he's just like a real dude. Like, if you hire, he's like a guy you can kick it with, like you and I went to like a heavy metal concert with him, and he got way into the pit and got like hot and heavy in there. So he's not afraid to throw down and also defend you legally.
Yeah, dude. Oh, he'll fight like a dog in court.
Yeah.
Dude, he is relentless. Dude, yeah. He told me he goes to DUI checkpoints sober and on purpose to make sure the cops are following protocol, and if they're not, he gets in their shit.
Nice. He's on top of it.
Yeah, he's an animal. Yeah, he represents us at our worst, believing in our best.
Yeah.
My ad, I'm not sure if this is legal, but I have to do it anyways. It's not an advertisement. It's just an endorsement. It's for my friend Daniel Babona. He was one of the top pitchers in college baseball history. That is not hyperbole. I know him well. I respect him deeply. I've only ever seen him act as, you would want a best friend to act like. And he is a college baseball coach at University of California, Irvine. Go Anteaters. They got a solid squad this year. I think they're tops in their division. Yeah, I would recommend to all the young Stokers out there who have baseball talent, root for UCI. And if you ever get good enough, go to UCI. Learn under the tutelage of Daniel Babona. The guy is an absolute out-and-out beast of a man, stud of a friend, and hero of a person. And UCI, they should have called it UC Newport Beach because it's right there on the water. Nice. It's beautiful location.
Oh, and
all right, let's get into the questions this week. What up, Chad and JT? I fell in love with this junior girl in high school near the end of a savage senior year. She was quiet She was quiet and shy and pretty much my fantasy with an amazing bod. You don't like him to talk too much, huh? We were exclusive hookups for my entire freshman year of college. We've been dating for over a year now, and she's a freshman out of school literally 1,000 miles away. She's really into raging now, but it makes me uncomfortable that she goes to date parties with dudes, chills in their rooms, and rips lines with them. I feel like she's making up for lost time. I know that the frat bros don't respect I exist, and I feel like her party habits are testing my trust and patience. She's super consumed by the fast-paced Greek life, and that's chill and all, but I'm not sure that the girl I love is still there. I used to think that she was the one, but she's grown super selfish, and I feel like I'm on the back burner. I raged hard in high school, and I've had some pretty good times in my 2 years of college, but it's slowed down since I started prepping for dental school. I feel like she's gone off the rails. Should I cut ties with this girl before she totally destroys my stoke, or should I fight for her in hopes that she grows up and then we'll vibe again? Please send some sagely advice for a bro in distress. Also loving the pods that get me through the day. Keep restoring my stoke. Matt.
Damn, sorry to hear that, Matt. People change. That's a tough thing about life. People change.
Yeah, man, I think a lot of this stuff is timing, and I think you guys just might be at different points in your life.
Yeah.
If you changed her and got her to stop partying just by like complaining to her about it, I think she would resent you for taking away something from her that was making her so happy. And I think at this point, her priorities are just different than your own. And I'm sorry, dog, but I think you got to let her go and you got to keep moving on.
Yeah. Do you think you should cut ties with her completely, or just sort of let her do her thing and keep her somewhat in the mix?
I would like to endorse that because I think that would be the best of both worlds. But unfortunately, I think he is so in love with her that he's not capable of putting her on like the back burner.
Yeah.
You know, I think if she's in his life, it's going to keep him distracted because he cares so much.
And also, if you sort of make that statement where you're like, look, babe, I understand that, you know, we're at different times in our lives. I'm a man on a mish, and I think it's best if we take some time apart. That's going to send a pretty strong message to her that maybe she'll want to shape up and be like, all right, you know, let me just get my shit together and we can, you know, go get some froyo. I'm optimistic.
But I think you do got to probably tell her that you're breaking up.
Man on a mish.
What does that mean?
Man on a mission.
No, I know that. What does it mean in the context of this?
He's preparing for dental school.
But so you're saying break up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Be like, look, I'm on a mish for dent school.
What up? Me and my dog are trying to okay, that was Matt. What up? Me and my dog are trying to start our own pod. We want to be original and pull off the killer vibe you guys have on yours. Do you have any ideas on how we should start up to reach a pinnacle of stoke? Also, we would love it if you would come on the pod as a guest speaker sometime. Thanks, dog. Kenyon, a.k.a. the PF.
Assuming you have all the correct equip, I would get your format together. You know, don't just go in. Although, you know, it takes maybe a couple episodes to figure out what you want to do. But have an idea, structure it out so you can go into it and be like, all right, this is what we're going to do now. This is what we're going to do now. We're going to do like beef of the week, blah, blah, blah. So that, you know, you can have some structure to what you're doing instead of just like, you know, just some like random conversation.
I would say the only advice I can give you is to just start doing it. David Mamet, one of my favorite playwrights, someone asked him, how do you write a great play? And he said, you write a lot of plays. Dear Chad and JT, my name is Tristan and I'm a junior in high school. I have a big problem I'm torn. Recently I've been going out a lot with the girls, a group of my female friends. We have been going to the beach to bronze a lot lately and I've really gotten to know them and we have gotten really close. They're great people, but I've started to catch feelings for one of the girls in the group. We constantly flirt, but I'm afraid that if we date and break up, it will end the bronze sessions that we have and all the fun times will be over. I really like this girl and we have started to get kind of physical, but I feel like she wants the title and I don't think we should do that because of the amazing bronze sessions we have. So should I ask her out and risk losing the group, or should I not ask her out, keeping the group, but most likely lose her? I need some outside thought on this, and you guys are good with relationships, so I figure out who else to ask. I know you guys will give the best advice. Keep up the good work. Love you guys. Tristan. I think it's a slam dunk.
What do you think?
Ask her out.
You think risk it?
I don't think it necessarily means that he's going to be excommunicated from the group, as long as he's a gentleman and it's just like, and it could work. Yeah. So, I mean, that's the first thing is like, be optimistic. Like it could work out with this girl and then you're going to have that group of friends for as long as you all stay friends. And then the second thing is like, yeah, you might get excommunicated, but the friends I know who got excommunicated by the girl groups, most of the time they did stuff wrong. Although I will say when my friends used to break up with girls, we would like hard cut them out.
Yeah, my only thing is it doesn't seem like he likes her that much.
Oh, I think he does.
You think he does?
I think he does, yeah.
He's just worried about the title?
Yeah, I think he's just overthinking it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you really like her that much, I'd go for it. But if it's just because you feel pressure from her, I wouldn't do it if that's the case.
Hunter from Salt Lake. Chad and JT, I've been pushing my friends hard to nair their butt b-holes for some time. I heard of the practice and I tried it out. It burned at first, but now I am immune to the pain. Every time my poop flees my rectum, I am left with little to no poop. The result in no wipers most of the time. It is truly glorious now that I don't have to dig through jungle vines to clean myself. The only downside is every time you sweat, it is like Niagara Falls running down your gooch. Guys, help. I need your counsel.
What does he need help with?
I know. I don't think he needs much help. I think he's got it all figured out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to do it, but I respect him doing it.
It is interesting that no hair. I had never really thought about that.
You got a face of like intense curiosity right now.
I do.
Are you going to put that curiosity into action?
I'm always open to new things, It just seems like that whole process would be super complicated. What I'm most interested in is his
brain.
Well, his brain and his desire to get his whole squad to do it.
Well, I think he's just one of these guys who's super creative.
Maybe he's stoked on the discovery, like, whoa, this really helps with wiping.
And he wants other people to know about his discoveries.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to invent in a vacuum. Yo, what's up, bros? Absolutely love the pod. I listen to it weekly and tell all the boys about it, and even got a few of them hooked. Balances out the weekly stoke, and I look forward to every Wednesday to listen. But my current dilemma is that I was mad sick after raging down in NYC and had a shift at my job the day after I got back. Turns out when I went down for a quick power nap before work to regain my bearings, I slept a solid 20 hours and missed my shift twice over. What should I tell my boss? How can I come away from this keeping my job? Let me know. Thanks, bros. A couple of top-notch philosophers like yourself should be able to handle this no problem. Shane.
Is he waiting on us to answer this? So, like, the boss is, like, waiting for his excuse?
Oh, that's true. This doesn't come out for a week.
Yeah. The boss is like, so what happened? He's like, hold on. I need to wait for this podcast to come out.
Yeah.
And then we don't even answer it. And he's like, fuck.
Next week, his question is, like, how do I get a new job?
Yeah.
That's true. If you were looking for advice, there's a...
Yeah, dude, I'm assuming you already had to answer this question, so let us know what you said.
All right. What up, Chad? What up, JT? This one's mainly for JT after his latest Babe of the Week, but full respect to Chad, too. JT, you crushed it calling out Jason Statham as your Babe of the Week, being the Machiavellian badass that he is, but you missed out a crucial stage in his journey. Statham competed for England at the 1990 Commonwealth Games, a less stoked version of the Olympics, in the 10-meter, 3-meter, and 1-meter diving competitions. Link below. Even though he didn't quite make the cut, Statham showed that not only can he get shredded for any occasion, but he can rock a pair of Speedos, no questions asked. His lack of finesse off the high board clearly fueled his stoke to become the hench leading man that he is today. Statham, you legend. Fuck Puzio. Oliver in Scotland. Beast, dude. Thank you for that information.
He truly is a beast. We were watching him do pull-ups a few days ago in Death Race, and it was a sight to behold.
Dude, he's a diver.
Do you know the story of like how he got cast in that first movie?
In Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Gun Barrels?
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know the specifics, but I was hoping he would.
But there is a story
but
there.
It's basically like he was just like a badass. He wasn't even an actor, and the director's like, that guy's a badass, and just cast him.
And a lot of badasses don't know how to portray being badass on camera. It's a different skill. Yeah. But what this shows about Jason Statham is that whatever the skills he needs to achieve what he wants, he's going to go out and show down for him. What up, bros? I love the pod. It is fire as fuck, and it gets me so stoked. Keep up the truly inspirational content. Although I have a serious situation, I trust you both in these trying times. I've recently found myself in the middle of two squads in a serious beef. I have been a loyal bro in Squad 1, but I have been feeling an influx of negativity and hate from Squad 1. I've become a newly member of Squad 2, and I seriously vibe with this new squad. Lately, there has been serious shit talking between the two groups. I'm loyal to both squads. Squad 1 is clearly at fault, but I go back with all my bros that are the closest friends. These bros have unfortunately been consistently shitting on me in most of Squad 2. I feel like I am stuck between a rock and a hard place. What moves should I make as I navigate this situation, my dudes? Keep my name anonymous since I got people from both sides of this beef hooked on your pod. Some Romeo and Juliet shit.
So he was loyal to one squad, but he's experiencing negativity.
So the squad that he has the longest history with is the squad that's being shitty to him and to his new squad. And I guess they're, as he stated here, in the wrong. So he doesn't know what to do.
That's tough to. Yeah, I dealt with that in college. Like I was always kind of like a, nice to everyone. So I was always involved in a lot of squads.
You floated between groups.
Yeah, I had a main squad, but so sometimes I get invited to like Ragers for like another squad, and then like some of the guys from my original squad, they'd be like, "Oh, dude, you're gonna go hang out with them?" And I'm like, "Well, they just bought a handle and a keg, so yeah, I'm gonna go hang out with them." And
right.
Like, oh, you don't want to play Mario Kart with us? I'm like, no, so. That was always tough, to like try to explain to people. They're like, "Why are you gonna hang out with them?" It's like, can you just let me just be? Why do you care who I hang out with? I don't really have a solution for his issue. But I'm just saying I relate.
Yeah, I don't think there is an easy solution. And so what I would do is instead of trying to give you like an action that you can take, I think you just have to reshape your thinking. Like the burden isn't on you to make Squad 1 better, and the burden isn't on you to get these two groups to get along. Now, if you can do it, that's awesome, and go for it 100%, because there are people who have that ability to bring people together. But I wouldn't drive yourself crazy over it. Like, as long as you're a good dude to both sides, however things shake out, you can hold your head up high because you're just being a good dude. Like it's if Squad 1 is intent on being shitty, maybe you can talk to one of the guys in the group that you're close to and try to like have an honest conversation about it. But if that doesn't work, I think you just gotta follow your bliss and do whatever sounds like more fun.
Yeah, I think what I would do, what I did, I would still hang out with like both squads. I would just kind of ignore the negative comments about like the other people. Be like, oh, that guy sucks. That guy sucks. What are you doing? I'd be like, all right, you can think that or whatever. Like, let's keep playing beer pong.
Right.
It's just like people are gonna have their comments, but just let them be. And I don't know. I think if you just stay true to who you are, you don't be like, yeah, I do like those guys. And if people have a problem with it, then that's their problem. You know what I mean?
Well said. No, totally. What up, fam? I ate way too much of an edible, and I don't know what to do about how high I am. You amigos have any suggestions on what to do the next time I'm this torch? Later, fellas. Peter.
I'd say call a bro to help talk you through it. One time I took an edible, and it kicked in like super hard, and I called my bro to like help me out, and he's like, "This is the president," and it should have freaked me out, but it made me just die laughing for like a few hours. So that was a great solution on his end.
What up, Lokers? I cannot adequately express my gratitude for you guys and what you do for me with these podcasts as well as Chad's Daily Motivates. JT, I want to acknowledge your sage wisdom and sound advice. This is my first time writing in, but much of your advice has applied to my personal life and maintaining a positive outlook, and thus my stoke. So here's the sage. Thanks, man. One of my boy roommates here at college has an insecurity issues that manifests itself in pretty unfortunate ways. He's constantly trying to one-up everything me and our boys say. He takes every opportunity to tell people how sick he is. It is very transparent and not that chill. For the most part, it's easy to brush off and let it go, but I've noticed that it's been infringing on my ability to pick up chicks at the bars lately. It is something that's been happening for a while, but I'm just starting to realize how severe it is. When we're talking to girls, he treats it like a pissing contest and tries to assert his non-existent dominance. We'll be talking to a couple of honeys and I'll randomly start telling them stories about embarrassing blackouts and regrettable hookups I've had. Oh man, this sucks, dude. I'm sorry. I'm always a good wingman for him. I'm confident most of his hookups wouldn't have happened without me there. When he starts to talk about how dope he is or how much money his family has, I steer him away and get the babes to talk about themselves. To be interesting, you have to be interested. I cannot really distance myself from him or stop going out with him because no one else in our group really fucks with him, and I live with him, so he tags along every time I go out. What are some tactics I can employ to avoid him killing my game with the ladies? I feel close enough to him or well-equipped to help him handle his deep-rooted issues, but I want to be able to make it better for the both of us when trying to pick up chicks. Also, JT, I just finished episode 5 and I was wondering if you'd be down to fight Logan Paul. I was going to set up a Facebook event for the fight, but refrained and decided to wait for your permission. I think Chad would make a great corner man. Sorry for the long question. Thanks, dog, Kevin. First on the Logan Paul thing, I'm down. I am down to fight him. I like to fight. But I'm worried, dude, because he's pretty jacked.
He's huge.
If Logan Paul fucked me up, like, I think he probably does a lot of martial arts and shit, too.
Yeah.
Like, man, there's, like, nobody I'd rather take down in a scrap, but...
I think you'd have to cheat a little bit to make sure, to ensure the victory.
You're talking I got a juice?
Juice, brass knuckles. Maybe have me with a chair just to, like, finish him off.
I can't get unethical.
That does sound amazing, though.
I'll just have to, you know what? You should do what's right, whether you think you're going to be able to do it or not. So, set it up.
That's bold.
Fuck it. I can take a head kick.
And yeah, that sucks about this dude.
Yeah, man, this is a really tough situation. I'm really sorry that you're dealing with this. That can... I know what you're talking about. I've had a lot of people in my life like that, and it's infuriating. I'm trying to think, what can he do?
I guess have an honest talk. He said he's well equipped to handle his deep-rooted issues.
Yeah, dude. I didn't want to say it because it sounds
brutal
and hard. But honestly, just talk to him about it. Because if you're going to have to keep hanging out with them, I don't want you suffering for the rest of the year. I think Chad with the Stones is correct.
Yeah.
Just talk to him.
Should we do a movie review? Hey, Stokers of Stoke Nation. This is Chad Kroger coming in with the Going Deep, the Chad and JT podcast. This episode of Going Deep with Chad and JT is brought to you by Douglas Lubricant. Now, Stokers, you guys are fans. You're lovers. And you guys are full of passion. And when you bring that passion into the bedroom, you got to do it right. And by right, I mean smooth. And by smooth, I'm talking about boning. So when you bone, make sure you do your partner right and you incorporate Douglas Lubricant, the best in the business. We guarantee you a soft, sensual, smooth time that will be memorable for both you and your partner. So when you bone up, don't forget to bone down with Douglas Lube. Thank you, Douglas Lubricant.
Nice.
Welcome, Patreon dudes, to this special episode of Going Deep with Chad and JT. We are going to give a movie review of Paul Walker's Too Fast, Too Furious, one of my faves in the Fast and the Furious franchise. And it just, I love Miami. I love Paul in it. We get introduced to Tyrese. Luda is back. No, Luda is introduced. And, yeah, should we just give a rundown of the movie first?
Yeah, and what's interesting about this review is with the other Paul Walker films, because we weren't as deeply familiar with them, we watched them before we reviewed them. But with Too Fast, Too Furious, we've both seen it so many times, we just decided to review it based off our recollection. So I apologize if some of the details of the film are skipped over, but I'm actually kind of confident that that won't be the case.
Yeah, and the movie, so if you get the DVD, it starts off with an alternate intro, or not an alternate intro, just a prelude, connecting the first and the second one, and we see Paul traveling cross country, evading local authorities to get to Miami, and he's drag racing a bunch of people. He goes to New Orleans, he drag races these dudes to make money, stays in different motels, finds love along the way. I think he bones some chick in a motel. And then eventually finds his way to Miami, and like he has that trademark smile where he's just like beyond stoked. He's like, this feels like LA because there's sun, jet skis, and I'm stoked.
Nice.
And then, and then we find Paul and he's in the local scene dominating. What do you know what the nickname they have for him is?
No, but he's like the Dominic Toretto of Miami.
Yeah.
Like the guy who can't be beat and who kind of has like an effortless confidence.
They call him Bullet.
Bullet?
They're like, oh shit, it's Bullet.
Great name.
Yeah. And he's on the scene dominating. We meet Suki. Ludacris is like running the scene. He's sort of like the MC. Because he hit a wall going $120, and he's like, I don't race anymore. Yeah, so Paul does a race, wins, but then gets caught by the cops. And they're like, if you want to stay out of jail, you got to help us out. Here's what you got to do. You got to infiltrate this drug lord. I forget his name. It's
played brilliantly by Cole Hauser, though.
Yeah.
He's like so greasy in it. He's always wearing like just like I'm a old guy at the club kind of suits.
Yeah. He's got like that evil smile where it's like he's not like an obvious monster, but you see in his eyes, he's like, he could really fuck you up.
Yeah, absolutely. My brother does a great impression of him. He's like, shut up.
Yeah.
And then there's a scene where Cole Hauser realizes that this cop who used to be on his payroll isn't doing all the things for him that he used to. So he pulls him into a back room, and the guy's like been hooking up with chicks and like looks like just like kind of disheveled. And then he puts the guy on his back, and he puts a big pot on his stomach, and there's a rat inside of the pot, and he heats up the pot, and he's like, if you heat up a pot and a rat gets hot, it'll tear through metal. And then you just see the guy screaming like, ah, 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 and it's like ripping into his guts, and that's how they get the information.
Yeah.
Very creative way to torture people. I always like in a movie where they get creative with the torture.
And they had Eva Mendes, the drug lord doesn't know, but she's an undercover cop.
Right.
And he's like, hold his mouth. And like, then Paul, it's like an interesting moment where like she looks at Paul, and Paul's like, what are you doing? And she's like, I gotta do this. And she like puts her hands over his mouth, and the guy's like screaming, and she's like, shut up, you know?
And afterwards, Tyrese or Roman Reigns is like, did you see her eyes when she was doing that shit?
Yeah.
Did she look like she looked uncomfortable doing that shit?
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, so we don't know where she's at yet.
Interesting dynamic between Paul and Tyrese.
Dude, awesome. Dude, when I saw it in theaters, when Roman Reigns, Tyrese took his shirt off to bust the window on the car.
Jacked.
The whole theater went, whoa!
Yeah.
600 dudes just went, yeah!
Dude, I remember that. And I'd say it's similar to our relation, you know, but I'd say Tyrese is a little bit more of a live wire.
I'm Tyrese, and you're
am I Paul? Oh, thank you.
You're Paul. Oh. You said a lot like our relation. You're just gonna make me Tyrese and you nobody.
I don't know. Yeah. But Paul, JT, you do have that kind of like. There's that side
wild
of you
card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see you taking your shirt off and punching through a Ferrari window. So that
Which lets you know where my brain's at most of the time.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Dude.
I could definitely punch through a Ferrari window shirtless.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone's like screwing. They're like, "Oh, dude!" And then you're in the back. You're like, "I could do that way better."
Yeah, I'm like, wait till I do it, bitches.
Dude, we should recreate that.
Yeah, just recreate scenes from the movie. Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's tough. They have to infiltrate, and then the drug lord, he thinks that they're actual just street racers. You know, he doesn't think they're working with the cops, and like, he's like, "You got to do a job for me." And they're like, all right, for sure, dude. Just as long as, you know. And then, like, the cops are, like, pressuring them to do all this shit, you know. And then, like, the drug lord gets, like, suspicious of them. And then, like, you know, like the cops pull up as they're, like, on, like, a drive.
Right. Are you talking about one of the earlier missions or the final mission?
In, like, the middle.
Yeah.
And then so Tyrese shoots at him.
Right.
To, like, show that he's with the bad guys. And then, so they meet up with the cop, and the cop's like, "You think you can shoot at me? I'm a goddamn federal officer." Yeah, and then he like
James Remar.
Yeah, he throws his gun away, and he starts like pushing. Which, you know, the dude's a lot scrawnier than Tyrese.
You know what line I do like at the end of that?
What?
Is where to settle it all, to squash it.
Yeah.
Paul Walker just grabs the gun, hands it to the FBI, and goes, "And by the way, if Roman wanted to shoot you, you'd be shot."
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, so okay. So we're just going to take on your word that this guy wasn't willing to shoot me.
Yeah.
It's a pretty risky move from Tyrese.
And then Tyrese, to really hammer it home, he takes the guy's sandwich. And the guy's like, "Hey, that's mine." He's like, "So?"
So?
And then
it's a close-up, too, of his face, and he goes, "So?"
Yeah. And
I don't give a shit.
And then one of the biggest bonding moments between Tyrese and Paul is when they're like, after that, he's like, "Man, it's some crazy shit's about to go down. Hey, Tyrese, why are you eating all the time? Man, when I was in jail, we didn't have good food. He's like, I figure it's not long before I head back in. So while I'm out, I'm going to eat all I can while I can. Plus, we hungry.
It's a powerful scene.
Yeah. And then they give that handshake. He's like...
Because the relationship's like back on at that point. That's when you finally trust him again.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite line in the whole movie, though, is, though?
What?
So the final, like, set piece, like the final getaway thing is really well done. Like, they go into that home and then, like, there's all these cops chasing them.
Yeah.
Because the cops have been watching the place where the money is. And so they're racing away from the cops. And the cops are shooting, like, harpoons at them that, like, shut their cars down.
Yeah.
They have, like, cool gizmos and stuff. And then they orchestrate that great getaway where all the other street racers, like, distract the cops so they don't know who's who. And Paul Walker and Tyrese earlier in the movie put Nas under the passenger seat because the main bad guy has a henchman riding with each of them in their separate cars. And they don't really explain what it is, but they hit a button that the henchman thinks is Nas, but it actually shoots the seat out of the car to get them free of the henchman. And Tyrese hits the button, then he goes, "Ejecto Cedo, cuz!"
My favorite line.
It's the best line, right?
Yeah.
Ejecto Cedo, cuz. It's really brilliant. Because I don't know. Here's what's impossible to know about that line.
Yeah.
Did the screenwriter write Ejecto Cedo, cuz? Or did Tyrese improvise that?
We got to ask Tyrese.
I got to think it's Tyrese coming up with that.
Because he's so stoked, and then he's like, and then he goes, "Ha ha, love this button."
Yeah.
I'm just like, fuck yeah.
If the screenwriter came up with that line, Ejecto Cedo, cuz, get him the Oscar.
Yeah.
Get him the best original screenplay. Well, is it best adapted? No, it's best original, even though it's a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing about Too Fast, Too Furious, just some more general commentary. The first Fast and the Furious is more realistic. The second one, Too Fast, Too Furious, it becomes almost like a video game. You know what I mean? Like the first one, there's an intense drag race, but they're land bound. In the second one, they put up a bridge so that they launch 800 feet, like 2 football fields.
Yeah. In my opinion, I would say that they started that trend of going. They just like kept going more and more aggro with the stunts and stuff. I'm like, dude, just let it be.
It's
like,
a disease of a lot of sequels.
Yeah, it's like just let it be. You don't need to heighten it that much. I'm cool with the original. You know,
I think they perfected it with 5.
Yeah, but I think
Still Too Crazy Town.
No, 5 was good, but then like the last one, the submarines and stuff. I'm like, dudes,
they're getting more and more ridiculous.
Yeah,
because the set piece at the end of 5, when they drag the safe, is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah,
it's a really cool scene.
Yeah. So,
Eva Mendes though,
babe, and Paul falls for her.
I mean, Jordana Brewster is a babe above babes, but if you were gonna find another love interest for Paul, Eva Mendes is above and beyond as well. She was great, and she's a good actress. I like her in movies. She's very good.
Yeah, yeah. When they drag race the 2 dudes, Fonzie.
Yeah,
that's intense because Paul plays an intense game of chicken with the guy, and the guy, you know, he's like, haha, all right, Blondie, let's see what you got. Let's see if you got the balls. And then like they're coming at it, and Paul's just like, he like maintains this like face of just like, I'm fucking doing this. And the guy, you can tell he wants to be in it, but you can see the apprehension on his face. He's just like, right. And then he pulls off, and Paul just
brilliant faces there.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Thank you. I can move a lot. That was a sweet race.
Yeah, because it's another scene where like Paul's like upgraded to like kind of Dom Toretto status from number 1.
Yeah.
The other greatest scene in the movie. Driving fast while staring at the girl.
Oh, the stare and drive. I've always wanted to do that.
I've wanted to do that. Dude, I'm so on the same page as you. I was about to say, I've always wanted to do. Yeah. For sure.
It seems like she would just get really pissed off during that.
My girlfriend would slap the fuck out of me. She's like, you make me feel unsafe. You make me feel unsafe.
And he's smiling too.
Yeah. I've also been in like 13 car accidents. I for sure just fucking torpedo into some minivan with 2 kids.
So you're no bully.
Oh, what happened? Oh, I was trying to be sexy for my girlfriend.
You just T-bone some car.
Yeah, or a fucking pedestrian does a fucking 540 over the top of my car.
Dude, if we ever did it like a movie, we have to do that.
Do a scene where we're trying to do that and I just fucking crash through.
All right, guys.
That's our review.
That will be it for our movie review of Too Fast, Too Furious. Thank you so much, Patreons, for being amazing fans and contributing and helping us out. We love it. Thank you guys so much. See you guys next time. Later. All right, guys. That'll be it for episode, is that 16?
16.
Episode 16 of the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining in. And thank you for coming back every week. We love you guys. Keep writing in questions. chadgoesdeeppodcast@gmail.com. And check out our Patreon, patreon.com/chadgoesdeep for bonus content. We do an extra episode. We throw in some extra videos in there and all that good stuff. And don't forget to give us a rating on iTunes. We love those. So, if you want to leave a rating review, we would be super stoked. And thanks for joining. See you guys next week. JT?
Love you, Stokers.
Later.
What's with deep?